What's going on, TheCoreofU fam?
Hey,
What's going
community
on?
restoration and enlightenment.
So, funny thing, I am actually in Facebook jail right now. So, we did a pre-recording of what we wanted to talk to you about. And actually, we're going to talk to you about that, about context and content. So, I'm in Facebook jail right now. Obviously, because the standards of social media canceled me for 3 days. All because I joked and said I was going to kick somebody in their shin. We were talking junk about in sports and stuff like that. So I'm in Facebook jail. So we're coming from you live. We hitting you from Wifey's page.
That's right. And part of what I did for several years as an e-discovery trained attorney is that we would handle hundreds and thousands of data, getting from the megabytes to the gigabytes to the terabytes. And what humans can do that computers can't is, well, artificial intelligence is making it more possible, but understand the context of what somebody is saying.
Yeah.
And then when you take into account culture and setting, something that's offensive in one culture may not be in another, or just the way you write it, the way you present it, the way you say it. But what it led me to talk to my husband about, I was like, wow, how many times do we we cancel one another out in our minds, in our hearts, based on something that is written? And we may read it in the wrong spirit.
Yeah. We
We may read it rushed, or it may not come out across the way the person meant it to.
Right.
So how many couples, especially in this day and time where so much communication is text-based, instant message-based, social media-based, you cannot rely on just the written word and make or break a relationship, friendship, familyship behind the written text. You really need to have more context.
And I'm learning about it as I coming from where I come from in the fields that I was in. Now I'm in corporate America, and it is very huge. You have to really be mindful. If you add an exclamation, they're coming looking at, what did you mean by that exclamation? Were you angry? Were you upset?
All caps? Are you yelling?
You wrote it in all caps. Are you yelling? You really have to be mindful of how you present things and the content that you present it in. And right now, I think it's a great conversation. Maybe we'll get into it another time and get some feedback from people, because cancel culture right now is such a big thing. And that's a whole nother conversation, because I have my isms about that, right? My ups and downs. I think some of it is good. I think some of it is very bad. But it censors your authenticity. So you really have to be careful, though, with how you write things and how you say things. And I know in my job, I deal closely with HR a lot. You have to be mindful. You don't need to be complimenting people. You don't need to say too much. You don't need to tell anybody that they have a nice outfit on, that their hair looks good, because it could be taken in an inappropriate manner, although you were just maybe being nice. So you really, really have to be careful of the content that you put out.
And just give people the benefit of the doubt. If you read something that rubs you the wrong way, step back, come back to it, or just ask, what did you mean by that?
Right.
Because people are rushing, and when you add autocorrect and auto words that fill in, on top of all of that, a lot can get lost in translation.
Absolutely.
So there are some folks that's not together today over something they read and didn't take a pause.
Wow, misunderstood what they read. But I think that also, and I think that's why you have so many people that are against technology, and I understand that part to a certain degree, because it has taken us away from contact, personal interaction. Laughing together and crying together and praying together and just talking, just the overall interaction. We've lost a lot of that, because we tease a lot of times when we're out, we put our phones away, to make sure that when we're out on a date or date night or just having some us time, that we put our phones away and really look into each other's eyes and really communicate and interact with one another, because our jobs call for us to constantly be answering emails, especially this one here. I don't know how she does it with she'll for a day, if she's gone for a day, open up her emails, 300 and 400 emails. I might have 10 or 15. I couldn't even fathom having 300 and 400. So you want to make sure that we get back to interacting and being close, and that human connection is always the best. But because we live in a world that's technology driven, be mindful. Really be mindful of the things that you put out. Because for me, I was just joking, and I put a LOL and a smiley face behind it, and he would have probably responded back and said, "I'm gonna get you," and it was a joke. But social media deemed that, Facebook deemed that inappropriate. And it said something to the fact that, we don't take these things lightly, because I guess, they're saying, because I could be serious, that I really might want to kick somebody when I see them. And so, unfortunately, because people do carry out the things that they threaten over social media, they have to be careful. So we have to be mindful.
Yeah, and that was just a soundbite. So yeah, if you're only looking at a part of something, well, wait until you know the full story.
Absolutely.
And remember, communication is 70% body language and unspoken words. So if you're making decisions on just the written text, that's only 30%. You don't have all the information.
So signing off, y'all, from Facebook jail. I'm incarcerated. Y'all put some money on my books. No, I'm just kidding. Love y'all. Hope y'all have a beautiful and wonderful and amazing weekend. And as always, from the community of Restoration and Enlightenment, we greet you with peace, and we hope to leave you with peace. Peace.